The Knicks shot 50% from three. 10 out of 18 for 36. Evan Fournier, 10 for 14 from three. 10 for 14. Celtics 6 for 11 from three from Jason Tatum. Marcus Smart, 4 of 10. All right, 617-779-7937 or the text line 37937. Does Brad Stevens need to start getting on the horn during now? Does he need to start getting on this rebuild now? At least if you know if it's a rebuild coming, then at least you know what you're seeing. But how do you need to take this all the way to the trade deadline just to find out that you're not a buyer nor a seller? You can't move anybody and nobody wants to come? Or the text line 37937. Let's get some of your comments. Justin, go ahead.
From the 603, they certainly think Brad Stevens needs to make a move. They said, fire Udoka and trade everyone except for Jason Tatum.
Yeah, I don't know about firing Udoka. I mean, what? He doesn't make shots? I mean, you could tell someone, look, the best thing you're doing is going to the hole, but when you start pulling yourself back out and shooting threes, I bet you that wasn't discussed in the last timeout. Now, and this is sometimes where I think coaching in the NBA can be a bit tricky, is when you have a younger coach and a young team, the young players think, well, yeah, I mean, he ain't really that much older than us. He ain't a real OG. Like, you almost feel like if they try to get, not listen to Chauncey Billups, like does Chauncey Billups suddenly take them out on the court and just absolutely dominate them like an old man and then throw the ball at them? Not hit them, but just throw it. I mean, it's not called for. Well, maybe, but I think the book is too early on MA. I think MA is part of management's ultimate plan to remove Brad from any type of toxicity that carried us over from last year, because the screams would be get rid of Brad, right? If Brad was still the head coach and this was what was happening, the talk would be get rid of Brad. So Brad played a chess move with management, moved himself upstairs, put someone else in there who could be there for the longer haul. All right, another text.
And we got this one right now from the 401. Udoka has blown so many leads. Good coaching is not blowing 25-point leads. That is bad coaching. Pretty accurate, and that is Brandon from the 401.
Well, my thing is this. Is this the same coaching that got you the 25-point lead, right? So if the coaching can get you the 25-point lead and you say that the bad coaching is what loses the 25-point lead, then that zero sums out. So something else has to be going on in there. It's the players. It's the literal taking of three-point shots and not going to the hole. I don't know what that is about. When Jason Tatum goes to the hole, like I just mentioned 15 minutes ago, 2 out of 3 things are going to happen. Either you're going to make the basket, you're going to get the call, or you're not going to get the call. That's a better percentage than anything you're shooting out in the field. But if you're out there, same scenario, you're standing 23 feet out. You take the shot. Well, nobody's fouling you. 3, 2. At this point, you're making the shot 28% of the time. Outlet. Now suddenly you're running backwards. I mean, literally, Celtics. God bless Robert Williams. Because it's like, if that's the guy that you decide, Brad, that needs to go in some type of movement of things, it's like the game Dig Dug. It's like suddenly you've popped the characters. Poof. But the question is, like, who goes? Who stays? I mean, you almost have to say, and I've said this before, if you try to move Brown or Tatum, the clock is ticking on the other person demanding to go too, right? Because now they see that the organization is willing to move on from you, and you might say, well, I want you to move on from me too. And now you may be saying, okay, well, how do we handle a player that doesn't want to be here and we won't get maximum value in return? So you have to keep the two J's together. You can't let Robert Williams go. I don't care how desirable he's to other people.
especially on that contract, KJ. That Robert Williams contract is so team friendly, they can't afford to lose that.
Well, but beyond the contract, it's the approach to the game. It's nothing but efficiency from Robert Williams. Robert Williams is efficient, and everything that he does, it seems like it's done with hustle with speed. Why would you get rid of that? You know, I mean, you brought Horford back in. Like I've said, Horford is the most expensive babysitter in America. Don't get me wrong, Al has done some things, but Al is not designed to do the $25 million thing to say, all right, guys, we need to come together. No, a guy who's getting $25 million a year needs to be putting up 17, 10 every night. Every night. Well, at least he had one of the digits. He had 7 tonight. When you're teaching math to a 10-year-old, a 1 and a 7 makes 17. This is just the 7. It doesn't even have the 10's number in front of it. 1 for 6 from 3. 3 for 8 from the field for Horford. $25 million. How are you even getting value? Like, I would rather see Al Horford getting 14 and 12 a night, because now some team in the West may say Al Horford is what we need to go up against the Rudy Gobert, or to put in the face of Steven Adams with the Grizzlies right now, who are just really kind of the story of the NBA. We'll get an NBA crypto here shortly, because I'm ready to sell. I'm almost ready to sell all of my non-fungible tokens on the Celtics. And fungible is a clean word. Good heavens. Unbelievable. I'm embarrassed. I have to sit here and say, like, I thought I would come on the air and just say I was wrong about one thing, and that was probably the AB situation and stating mental health. That'll be next hour. Also, the Squid Game's coming up. At least try and win you about $1 million on some of these games this weekend. That's in 15 minutes. But I didn't realize I have to come up here and say, KJ is sorry for saying that I believe that the Celtics were going to go 14-3 this month off of winning 2 games in a row. I got a little too happy when I saw the Spurs and 2 Knicks games back-to-back and 2 Pacer games back-to-back. Dummy me. How dumb of me to believe that this team could turn it around. I wish I still that parody of they don't care anymore. And you know what? Let's see what happens in this next Knicks game if I have to bust it out, because what we know in this industry is everybody doesn't listen at the same. There are some people, Justin, right now who are just checking me out at this time of night for the first time, possibly because they haven't heard me like on a Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? Is it Thursday? It's Thursday night. The days are running together like they did last week. I might have to bust that parody back out after Saturday. This is just absolutely ridiculous. 617-779-7937. Text line is 37937. Jason, you're in the car. Thank you so much for calling WEEI. Go ahead.
Yeah, how you doing? I'm baffled. We've got a guy on the Celtics. He's shooting 75% from the field, and we're not even utilizing him. He gets like 4 or 5 shots a game. I just don't know why we aren't going with Robert Williams a little bit more.
On the offensive end, yeah.
This does not make sense. The guy's shooting 75% from the field,
Yeah. This is what I talk about efficiency, right? Like the Celtics need to see who are the ones that are efficient on the court and make ways for them to be. I mean, that's how you reward Robert Williams. All those hustle plays, the blocks, the steals, the assists. They had a triple-double a few nights ago. Why is this guy?
Robert Williams does is pure energy to the team. It's like kind of what Marcus Smart maybe was to some degree, right?
Yeah.
Everything Robert Williams does is pure energy. And to me, if you're also shooting 75% from the floor on top of it, bro, like he needs to get double the shots up, in my opinion, not 5. They need to feed him the ball more.
Maybe get him like on a diet of 8 shots a game, maybe, to see like, okay, if this guy can go 4 for 8, we get 50% out of him. Plus, he might be one of those guys that gets the hoop and the harm. Because, again, the Celtics, thanks so much for the call. I appreciate it. Again, what you saw in the first half of the game tonight is what the Celtics should be doing. getting into the paint, collapsing the D, either going to the hole to get the basket or the foul or both, or occasionally kick it out. Again, like if Marcus Smart's going to take threes, and I can't say that he doesn't hit them at all, it just seems like there are more misses than there are makes. Find out where that sweet spot is. Become like that Bruce Bowen character where all you do is just chill out in the corner with a drink, saying, oh, there, here we go, automatic three. Jim in Wakefield, you're on WEEI. Thanks so much for the call.
Hey, how we doing tonight?
You can probably hear I'm a bit agitated.
Yeah, you and me both. I'm telling you, I was watching that game last night, and I was like, are you kidding me? You missed a friggin' layup at the end of the game. But, that being said, they have some good players. So my question is this, all right? I know that Tatum and Bradley Beal are friendly and have a good rapport, and Bradley Beal's contract is up at the end of this year, right? So if you put Bradley Beal in with Tatum and Brown, and then you have a defensive player like Marcus Smart, and you have Al Horford, and you have Robin Williams, then I think you have a really, really good team. But I mean, that's just my thought. If they can get him, so are we going through this season to get to next season? Because I sort of feel like that's what the plan is.
Well, Jim, thanks so much for your call. Let me get to your question. I mean, at this point, what should be the better friend to Jason Tatum than Bradley Beal is the $29 million you have coming. Like, you should be the guy that says, hey, people should want to come to me, come to us, not waiting for a friend to come through, right? Because let's be honest. If friends aren't necessarily accountable for each other, oh, gosh, now you got two malcontents shooting up threes from everywhere and not caring?